7 wars. That's what Donald Trump says he's ended. Not 1, not 2, but 7. Standing shoulder to shoulder with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at Chequers, Trump told reporters that he has solved 7 wars. Wars that couldn't be negotiated or ended. Trump's claims were tall and bold, but in politics, as you know, bold doesn't always mean accurate. These claims came during his high-profile joint press conference in the UK. Trump, while wrapping up his 3-day state visit, where he was received with complete royal treatment, it wasn't tea with King Charles that made headlines, it was this claim. Well, it seems Trump's peace record might have just taken a detour straight into the Balkans. He referred to Armenia as Albania, while claiming to have resolved a conflict with Azerbaijan that never involved the Balkan nation. The gaffe in England came as Trump touted his record as a peacemaker. Now, just to be clear, there's no real issue between Armenia and Albania. Both nations are about 3,000 kilometers apart. No issue between Azerbaijan and Albania either. So while Trump's diplomacy might have been on point, his geography not so much. Trump also said that he did not know former British ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, who was fired last week after his links with convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein surfaced. Trump claimed not to know Mandelson despite the latter being the UK's ambassador to the United States and also being at the White House several times. In May this year, Mandelson was photographed standing next to Trump in the Oval Office when the US and UK announced a trade framework. Another unforgettable moment from Donald Trump came during a speech in the Oval Office where he casually declared that nobody has ever heard of Lesotho. Trump was addressing what he called wasteful expenditure, but here's the thing, Lesotho is actually pretty involved in US trade. In 2024 alone, the two countries traded goods worth a whopping $240 million. I'd argue that's a lot of money for a nobody. From South Asia to the Middle East, Africa to Eastern Europe, Trump has painted himself as the ultimate peacemaker. So what's the story behind those so-called 7 wars? Since Trump took office in January, the United States has been involved in 5 ceasefires or peace agreements, though not all parties involved credit the US for these agreements. Let's go one by one though. First, the claim of a peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan, not Albania. On the 8th of August, Trump signed the deal at the White House and both leaders praised his role in ending a decades-long conflict. But while the ceremony certainly took place, the reality is this conflict wasn't solved overnight. The deal, which was part of a broader, long-standing diplomatic push, with Russia and Turkey playing major roles alongside the United States. Next, Trump posted on social media about a peace agreement between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda on the 20th of June. He credited Secretary of State Marco Rubio. On the 23rd of June, Trump claimed a ceasefire between Iran and Israel after the US joined Israel in bombing Iranian nuclear sites. Trump also touted a ceasefire between India and Pakistan in May following intense military confrontations along their border. While a ceasefire did occur, once again, India has categorically denied any US intervention in this. On the 28th of July, Trump claimed that leaders of Cambodia and Thailand agreed to a ceasefire after 5 deadly days of fighting, but news outlets reported Trump urged them to negotiate a ceasefire. Yes, he did, or else trade deals with governments would stall. Trump's 7 wars also seem to include the Ethiopia-Egypt conflict over the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. While the dispute was ongoing during Trump's first term, it's important to note there was no formal war nor a peace agreement signed. The other cited peace incident by Trump is Serbia and Kosovo. In September 2020, Trump announced Serbia and Kosovo agreed to economic normalization, but news outlets continue to report the tense relations persist 5 years on. Serbia considers Kosovo part of its territory long after Kosovo declared independence in 2008. So while Trump's 7 wars claim may sound impressive, a closer look reveals a mix of overstatements, misunderstandings, gaffes, and ongoing conflicts. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.